Hey guys, Antonio Rodriguez here. First game review in a year. Yay! Excited! And of course, I promised to review Uncharted 4.
Of course.
And I will do exactly that. I'll review Uncharted 4 from the basics of gameplay and the story. And you know I made a live stream, and looking back to the last part of the video, the live stream, it suddenly decided to mute me when I had it turned on. I had the mic turned on, and for some reason it turned off whenever I look at it, because it was so much emotion when I put in the commentary. And comment below if you want more of these, because I was thinking about doing it with on Kingdom Hearts or Shadow of War. Probably Shadow of War would be a good idea to do the live streams, but as of right now, let's review Uncharted. Uncharted, I am a big fan of the series. I'll get to my ratings of the previous three, but if you don't know what the Uncharted series, I will break it down for you. It's all about a guy named Nathan Drake, who's a fortune hunter, or just a archaeologist that hunts down treasures around the world. He has a friend named Sully that helps him out for his adventures, except for 2. And in 2, he barely is in it. But moving on, he has multiple love interests during the course of the game series. First being Elena, then Chloe, then Elena, and then in this game, Elena and Nathan are married. And in the first one, they went to the mythical El Dorado. In the game, it says that it's place for where all the zombies went. And for the second game, is going to Shambhala, which is called the best game in the series, and I agree to that. Third game is to Atlantis of the Sands, I think, and that's where Nathan Drake's ancestor, Sir Francis Drake, supposedly went to when the Queen gave him orders to have a look at the place. And I hope you got that. The fourth game takes place, let's just say 5 years, just for game release date, years. Nate is retired for a pretty long time now, and he's enjoying his life with Elena, but something is not right. He misses the adventures of being an archaeologist that destroys temples, that jumps everywhere, that collects items, collects treasures, face enemies, and all that. I barely look at the game trailers. I knew what I was getting. I knew I was gonna get another great game from Naughty Dog. They were coming straight off of The Last of Us, and I love The Last of Us. I cannot wait for the sequel coming out next year, I believe. And it should come out next year, because it will be a great year for gaming. How is the gameplay for Uncharted 4? It's fantastic. I like the gun combat. Ooh. I like the gun combat, and I actually have a fake gun that's holding my camera still, but unfortunately I can't remove it, otherwise the camera will fall off. It's excellent, and I think I turned the auto aim off. I just basically aim it with my actual good accuracy. I only turn on auto aim to collect all the trophies, and I'm telling you, the trophies are damn hard. So you had to look up online to get it. I got it within a month. So that was a big accomplishment for me. The storyline is fantastic as usual from Naughty Dog. They really had one direction this time, unlike 3 that had 2 directions, because the first direction was the team was together, and then I think in the middle of production they split because one of them went for The Last of Us and one continued with Uncharted 3. Which is a shame, because it could have a complete great game that could have been better than the second one, because it's already, in the third game, it's already looking like it's going to be better than the second one. But I'm here to talk about 4. 4 is freaking amazing with its emotional depth. Sam Drake is a great addition to the lineup. Troy Baker does a great performance as the character. Nolan North and him together on screen is match made in heaven. Oh my god. Cannot wait for both of them to be in more games, and hopefully Troy can continue his great performance in The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, I'm just gonna call it Last of Us 2 because it's much easier for me. The villains, how's it went? Rafe is not bad. He has certainly have a motivation, but I didn't feel like we had a clear enough motivation for the villain. But we do have excellent scenes with him. Whenever the confrontation towards the end of the game is fantastic. He brags about how Drake is not as good as him, and talks about how he's not a legend by his actions in the first 3 games, which he's already an ass for. The characters, the supporting characters that return are great. Elena's great, Sully's great as usual. Sully is always great in the games, especially the short time he had in 2. And I love that Nathan Drake's past is more developed this time. I like it that, I'm not going to spoil it here unless you want to play the game, but I'm probably going to spoil it here, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like that Nathan Sam's past, that they reveal why what happened to their parents, what happened to, why he called himself Nathan Drake, and when Sir Francis Drake didn't have any kids, and always has to use the logic of his life was still at London at the time. Always has to make that excuse. I love this screenplay for that scene. It's so good, it's so great, it's so good. It didn't, and I don't think the Tom Holland young Drake movie would do it justice like the games did. If the games if the movie wants to explore Nathan Drake's backstory, that's fine for the first 10 minutes, but not a whole movie on Drake, which I'll get to the movie later. But the game is so solid with its gameplay, it's so solid with its controls, the graphics, oh my god, the graphics are so good. You can tell they really spent the 5 years building this game up for the ground. I thought it was coming out in 2015, I would have been like, this is a good time to be, let's say 16, sweet 16, I getting Uncharted 4, but it came out a year later, and I get this before my 17th, which wasn't that bad, and also the Steelbook's great, and I actually met Nolan North in Supernova earlier this year. I'm pretty sure I uploaded the video. Yeah, I uploaded the video. What I'm talking about. It was great meeting him. He was like, oh, that guy that's got a Superman t-shirt. I didn't know at the time he voiced Superman in Young Justice, which gives me a thumbs up, of course. I'm not even wearing my usual game review shirt, which will be corrected by the next video, because I just looked down on myself. I forgot my Superman shirt, leather jacket, usual. What rating would I give the game? I would give it a solid. I gave it a 10 out of 10 at the time, but more breaking it down, that some of the characters from the previous games don't even return, like Chloe Fraser. I thought she would return, but she's a badass anyway. I missed her in Uncharted, the rest of Uncharted 3, and missed her in 4, of course. She didn't even get a mention. She only got referenced through a booklet, which was a damn shame, but at least we can DLC to resolve her storyline, or continue her storyline through a standalone. Alright, I'll cut to the chase. What's the rating for the game? I'll give this a solid 9.6 out of 10. And if you don't know my rating system, it's basically the IGN rating system. I don't run Angry Joe's or the Unusual Suspects. I run my own system, which is the IGN rating system. I give it a 9.6, which is close to 9.5. If you don't have this game by now, go get the Uncharted collection, Nathan Drake collection. Make sure you get the one with all 3 games, not getting them separate. Get this, get that, play them. You will not regret it. And that's pretty much the end of the game review. So, what would I think of the movie that they announced with Tom Holland? I think they should not have done a Young Drake movie, and the thing that annoys me the most is from Tom Holland's idea. I'll get to the Spider-Man review eventually. What world do we live in that young actors can persuade a studio? Because it's kind of acting like the studio wants their golden boy to have every request granted. Tom Cruise was a producer at Ricky Business. He worked himself up. He worked himself up to the point he can do producing role, starting from Mission Impossible and so on. He worked his way up. Tom Holland's doing it way too early. I feel like he should wait until he's matured in the Hollywood business, since he's only 21. That's a this video, of course. And I might be wrong about the movie, it might be amazing, but as of right now, I'm not seeing it. Unless it gets somehow get good reception and all that, or Jake Gyllenhaal, or anyone else is in it. Or they just correct themselves by casting Chris Pratt as Nathan Drake. Who knows? Alright, that's it. That's the first game review with the Antonio Rodriguez name. So, bye-bye.